In 1942, a young orphaned bear cub was taken into the care of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company. The orphaned bear, Wojtek, lived alongside the Polish soldiers. Growing up with the soldiers, Wojtek became well known by many civilians and helped build the morale of many Polish men and women. He was enlisted in the Polish army and went to war with the soldiers, carrying stores of live ammunition.
After the men were demobbed at the end of the war, they came back to Berwick-upon-Tweed, to Sudwick. They would often walk along the country lanes in Berwick, around the Berwick and around Hutton. And occasionally Peter would stop and speak to the farmers, anybody who was out there walking in the lane. And Wojtek would just get a bit bored every now and again and decide that he was going to walk about. And all that Peter needed to do was just put his hand on his back and stand Wojtek. He eventually ended up in Edinburgh Zoo. Anyway, he was anaesthetised and they gave him a soldier's death and they shot him. I read about the project when Aileen Orr, the author of the book, more or less advertised that she was looking for someone to make a memorial.
The book was really part of the story of Wojtek for me because when I got married I realised I'd married the man who owned the camp, Winfield Camp. So I had been brought up with the story of Wojtek, knowing the places that he had visited. And it was then that I thought about writing the book and then took it really from there.
One of the other reasons I would say that I really desperately wanted to become involved with this is that just before this one became public knowledge, I made the memorial for Montrose of Bamsa, the Norwegian sea dog. And Wojtek, just as Bamsa was this huge morale booster for the men.
When I heard about the story of Wojtek the bear from Aileen Orr, one of my fellow trustees, I sort of fell in love with the story and I thought this is a project that will allow me to put something back and to sort of repay the debt, the personal debt I have to Poland and the hand of friendship Poland showed me, and to repay the bigger debt that we have as a country to the contribution Poland made to our freedom during the Second World War, which has never been properly recognised. This is a fantastic way of doing it, bringing the Polish and Scottish and British communities together and leaving a legacy that my children, my children's children and children in hundreds of years' time will come to Prince Street Gardens, look at the bear and think about the story behind it and realise that we're two proud nations that have many things in common.
It's actually been ongoing now for 6-7 years. We're almost at the end of a very long journey. It's been quite a task to raise the some £300,000 to actually produce the memorial.
And we're almost there now, so it will be going into Prince Street Gardens hopefully this year.